held as a whole town under their power for during the electoral process. Okay, next I'll be presenting about the authoritarianism. Authoritarianism can be defined as a nation with the same level of power as totalitarianism. However, the state of control and repression are different compared to the totalitarianism authority. Authoritarianism also did not practice democracy. The leaders of authoritarianism are excluded for the constitutional rights and also free from a fair and just voting process, and also they also could not be held accountable as they are free from the as they are limiting the power of freedom of political voices by the subject itself. Hence, this is very something that can be seen as very really oppressing the people, but not in terms of a hard way such as totalitarianism. According to the social scientists, according to the political scientists of Juan Lins, authoritarianism also can make a decisions to ensure that any rival party that could rise were bound to be forbidden, as they could not making any political party that could challenge the power of the ruling party itself.
Next, we will move on to the power and roles of Malaysia Prime Minister. The Malaysian Prime Minister played a crucial role in governing the country. The power held by the Prime Minister affect the direction of the national policy, economic development, and the overall administration. Among the main power and roles are acting as the heads of government, making policy, leading the coalition party in the parliament, representing the country, and lastly, resolving national crisis. Firstly, the roles and power of Malaysia Prime Minister is to act as the heads of the government. The Prime Minister is chosen by the majority party, gain the confidence of the Dewan Rakyat through parliamentary votes, and is officially appointed by the Yang di-Pertuan Agong YDPA. As head of the government, the Prime Minister leads the overall direction and focus of national administration. For instance, during his first term, Datuk Sri Anwar Ibrahim quickly formed a credible cabinet for the unity government, emphasizing good governance, economic reform, and public welfare. This showed the Prime Minister's role in the setting a strong foundation for national progress. Secondly, the Malaysian Prime Minister played a vital role in national policy decision making. The Prime Minister set the policy based on current needs and priorities, and this policy often shape their legacy. For example, Datuk Sri Anwar Ibrahim introduced the Ekonomi Madani policy, a policy that focused on technology, AI, and improving the citizen welfare. It includes initiatives like the Inisiatif Pendapatan Rakyat (IPR) to boost the income for the lower income group. This shows how policy decision can bring long-term national impact. Next, the Prime Minister leads the coalition party in the parliament. As the head, the Prime Minister represents the party, manage the policy discussion, and respond to the criticism. For instance, Datuk Sri Anwar Ibrahim answered the question during the MQT session every Tuesday, allowing open feedback on government action and strengthening transparency and trust. This built accountability and helped ensure the government remain responsive to the public and parliamentary concerns. Other than that, the Prime Minister represents Malaysia in diplomatic and international affairs, playing a crucial role in strengthening the country's global presence. Through effective leadership and strategic policy, the Prime Minister works to build foreign relations, foster international cooperation, and attract foreign investment, all of which contribute to the national growth. For instance, Datuk Sri Anwar Ibrahim will represent Malaysia at the 2025 Asian Summit, where he will engage with regional leaders to address critical issues affecting Southeast Asia. This opportunity allows Malaysia to showcase its leadership and commitments to the regional stability. Such representation not only enhances Malaysia's standing on the global stage, but also open doors for economic partnership and strategic alliance, benefiting the country in numerous ways. Lastly, The Prime Minister's role and power is to act as the crisis manager. The Prime Minister is responsible for providing leadership and immediate aids during the time of national crisis. This will require quick decision-making and a deep sense of responsibility and empathy for the citizen affected. The Prime Minister must manage the crisis efficiently, whether through policy changes, financial support, or direct involvement. For example, Datuk Sri Anwar Ibrahim demonstrated his leadership by allocating RM50 million ringgit in aids to the victim of the flash flood in Kelantan and Terengganu. This action showing his commitment to helping those in need, regardless of their political affiliation. This act of compassion is not only provided essential relief to the victims, but also reinforced the notion that during a crisis, the Prime Minister's duty is to unite the nation and support the people, showing that effective crisis management go beyond politics to focus on the well-being of the citizen. Next, we will move on to how impactful it is when the Prime Minister utilizes his power and roles given. Every Prime Minister of Malaysia has played a significant role in nation building, contributing through strategic policy and leadership. Key focus areas for this contribution have been poverty eradication and modernization, which have had a lasting impact on the country growth. Firstly, the poverty eradication. One of the major issues faced by Malaysia was the economic imbalance and widespread poverty among its citizens. To address this, Tun Abdul Razak introduced the New Economic Policy (NEP), a pivotal initiative aimed at eradicating poverty and creating a greater economic opportunity for all Malaysians. This policy effectively tackled the socio-economic disparities, leading to more balanced development across the country. The NEP legacy continues to benefit the nation until today, contributing to the significant Malaysian economic stability. And the second one would be the modernization. In line with global economic trend, the national focus of Malaysia's shift from agriculture to industrial to ensure sustained growth and development. Under the leadership of Tun Dr. Mahathir, Malaysia underwent rapid modernization, which earned him the title of Father of Modernization. His efforts include the establishment of key national projects such as KLCC and Proton, which positioned Malaysia as a leading player in the global market. His visionary approach transformed the country into a more industrial nation, improving the quality of life for the citizen and solidifying Malaysia's place in the global economy.
The appointment of the Prime Minister in Malaysia. First, the appointment of the Prime Minister in Malaysia is guarded by Article 43(2)(a) of the Federal Constitution. Under this article, the Yang di-Pertuan Agong appoints a Prime Minister as a member of the Dewan Rakyat, House of Representatives, who in His Majesty's judgment. Second, candidate must be an elected member of Dewan Rakyat, lower house of Parliament. This ensures that the candidate has been elected by the people and reflects the principle of parliamentary democracy, where members of the executive are drawn from the legislature. Dan Yang di-Pertuan Agong determines if the candidate has majority support in Parliament. This step is central to the appointment process. Yang di-Pertuan Agong must determine which member of Dewan Rakyat is more likely to command the confidence of the majority. Then Yang di-Pertuan Agong may seek advice from party leader. Once the Yang di-Pertuan Agong is satisfied, they officially appoint the candidate as Prime Minister as per the Federal Constitution. This formal appointment confirms the leader roles. Lastly, special situation happens when no party win enough seat to form a government. In this case, Yang di-Pertuan Agong plays an important role. He talks to party leader and looks at who can work together to form a stable government.
The challenges that may faced by the Prime Minister in Malaysia to execute the power and governance. The first point is political opposition. A political position is referred to the parties and people who do not have the powers or not member of the ruling coalitions. In Malaysia, parliamentary system itself is allow opposition party to question government policy, debate legislations, and keep the Prime Minister accountability. Such as in 2022, the positions lost 3 of 4 by the election that may leads on that time. However, DPA candidates Pak Shotao won a higher majority than their predecessor. Single by-elections must not be seen as the predictor of the Malaysian politics' future course. The second point is the governments and the corruptions, which is the abuse of the authority by public servants or institutions for their own benefits. However, during annual speak at 2024 National Good Governance Symposium that he dedicates to fight corruption and wants to make sure that such actions do not take place in the unity government administration. Prime Minister itself mentioned that if they had a strong enough evidence, facts, and justification, law enforcement organizations should take actions against corrupt and individual, especially well-known individual. In the last point is economic crisis, which is managing unemployment, recession, and inflations can restrict choices and cause unrest. The Madani administrations must strike and balance between budgetary and realistic economic expansions.
Now, we move to the last content of our assignment, which is conclusion. Through the assignment, we have a more comprehensive and structured grasp of the Malaysian political system, especially the institution of its Premiership. This activity has enabled us to understand the organization and the role of the political system in Malaysia and the major powers and duties of the Prime Minister to run the country. We also thought that the political system is the foundation of national life and it's constructed not only from formal institution but also from behind the scene network. We have learned that the Prime Minister of Malaysia does indeed have the power to influence national policy, head the government, and represent the country on the international stage. Its role also include managing national crisis and guaranteeing political stability by making strategic decisions. So that's all from us. Thank you for listening. Now we move to the Q&A session.